Hi, welcome to the 2023 A Brighter Me project brought to you by Illuma. I'm Allie Waddell, the co-founder and CEO of the Illuma Ketamine Clinic here in Austin, Texas, and I will be your guide on this 8-week transformational course that's going to help you shine bright this new year. Each week, I will share with you a Brighter Me building block. These are some of my favorite tools and exercises that I've used over the last 20 years as a coach. They will help you to understand yourself on a deeper level while learning some skills for you to shine your brightest this year. So let's jump right on in to building block number 1, or a day in your dream life, a day in your dread life. This is a journaling exercise that really will help you envision what your life would look like in 5 years if everything that you imagine could happen came true, and if nothing changed. I like this carrot and stick approach because it really does allow everything moving forward to be an A or B decision. Is this moving me closer to the life that I really want, or keeping me stuck and moving me towards the life that I don't? This is a modification of a writing prompt from a woman named Debbie Millman. I discovered her probably close to a decade ago on the Tim Ferriss podcast, and she does this writing prompt, or a version of this writing prompt, with all of her students that she teaches in her journalism class. And she calls it the 5-year plan for a remarkable you. And that's because she says that it has worked more than any other thing that she's ever used with students to help them plan for the future. She says she has students all the time call her 5 years later and say, "Oh my God, Debbie, everything that I wrote, or 80% of what I wrote, or 50% of what I wrote in that classroom actually came true." And I found it to be the same with my clients that I've used it with over the years. There have been studies to show that your nervous system actually cannot distinguish between your imagination and reality. And so that's why envisioning what you want really does help it to move through you. It helps you to become aware of synchronicities and opportunities, what to say yes to, what to say no to as you're moving forward. And so I'm going to take you through this writing exercise. Don't worry about taking notes. You will get a worksheet with all of these details on it. So just listen through the first time. You can use this video as a resource later, but again, you'll get a worksheet with all of the details, exactly how to perform this day in your dream life, day in your dread life writing prompt. You'll get that worksheet to guide you along the way. Okay, step number 1 is scheduling. You need to focus on this. This is time for you to focus on yourself. So block out at least 90 minutes, if not 2 hours of time for this process. I know that seems like a long time. You can maybe squeeze it into an hour, but really give yourself time. This is the time for you to play and explore yourself. You deserve 90 minutes, and you can do it. I promise you can find the time. So find some time, make sure that the kids are handled, the pets are handled, your partner is handled, that nobody's going to be interrupting you. Turn your phone on Do Not Disturb, and then get yourself in a comfortable place, in a comfortable position for writing. So I would suggest writing with a pen. There have been studies that show that the somatic experience of writing is actually our nervous system interprets that information at a deeper level. But again, if you like typing, or if you even want to video vlog record it or audio record it, you could do that as well. So figure out how you're going to record, how you're going to write. Make sure you have the space, get some water, get some tea, maybe good lighting, good music, whatever's going to put you in the mood to really focus on yourself. Second thing you're going to do is drop in. So we all have busy lives. We're likely coming from someplace and going to someplace else. So we really want to stop and be centered and really focus so we can listen internally to what we really want. So I like to do this by having some deep breaths, feet on the floor, sit up nice and tall. Breathe into your diaphragm, into your stomach, then into your chest, 3 to 5 times, really center. And then you're gonna start writing. Here we go. In as much detail as possible, envision yourself in 5 years. If everything really goes the way you want it to, what does that day look like? And I want the minutia. I want the details. Where are you waking up? What kind of bed are you in? What is outside of your window? What are you wearing to bed? Who's next to you in bed if there is somebody? Do you have a furry friend? A pet? A cat? A bird? Who cares? Whatever you like. What are you waking up to? What time is it? And you want to go through your entire day. How does your morning start? What are you doing for work? What are you doing for personal enjoyment? What does your lifestyle look like? Who are you hanging out with? Who are your friends? How are you feeling? What are you eating? Where are you going? Every single thing through the day in as much detail as possible, from the time you get up till the time you tuck yourself back into bed. If everything went exactly how you wanted it, what does that day in 5 years look like? So that's January of 2028, which is crazy. That seems like a long time, but it will be here in a minute. So really focus. And most people say, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. It is amazing when you start writing that your subconscious actually comes out. It actually does know what you want. And so just let it flow. And again, this is for you. So please do not worry about your grammar. Do not worry about your spelling. Do not worry about your handwriting. Do not worry about any of those things that don't matter. Just let your subconscious and your inner guide you through this process and see what comes out. You may be shocked. You may not be shocked. Maybe you've done this a lot. Maybe this seems like very easy. I know exactly what my life would like to look like. But I will tell you, many people have not even taken this time to really think about what they want. And if you think that you're accidentally going to stumble onto your dream life, I just have not seen it happen very often. There is luck, there is opportunity, things like that happen. But most of the time it does take focused energy and attention so that we can guide ourselves into the right path. I also truly believe that a lot of this is about alignment. And when we listen to our inner guide and that soul calling, and we get ourselves into a flow, into the life that we really think we want, the universe, I truly do believe, will kind of start to help us in that alignment. It will put opportunities and people and projects into our space that will move us further on that path. If you're like me, I've felt at different times in my life that I've been swimming upstream, that I've been trying to do something and it just wasn't working out, and this wasn't working out, and that wasn't working out, and I was just super frustrated because I thought it was me. Like, why is none of this working out? When I really look back, it was because I really wasn't in alignment with what I really wanted. I was kind of swimming against the water, going upstream. And when I stopped and really stopped and listened to myself and got back into alignment, things started to line up for me. And I've seen it happen a lot with a lot of clients. And I just think this process can really help. And so that's writing number 1. So good news, you're halfway done. I know, it feels a little like daunting, but I promise this second part is not gonna feel as fun, but it will be helpful. And what that is the day in the dread life. And the interesting thing to learn is that the scariest thing for most people is actually not everything bad happening. It's actually everything staying the same. Because stagnation feels like death for people. And it is terrifying. And for anybody who's been stuck in a place or a mental state where it didn't feel like anything was ever going to change, you know that feeling of dread. And so I like this part of this exercise because I do find it to be a little bit of a stick, a kind of push forward to really make you realize what happens if nothing changes. And so you do a similar process. You write in as much detail as possible from the time you wake up 5 years from now, so 2028, to the time you go to bed. But what if nothing changes? What if you don't grow? What if nothing gets better? What if it all stays the same? What if everything that's hard now is harder then? What if everything that was going bad gets worse? It's not just stagnation, but what if it exponentially continues to go down? What if we stop doing everything that we know we're supposed to do to take care of ourselves? What if we disconnect from our friends? What if we stop taking care of ourselves? So really write that, because that is going to motivate you as well, because the reality is we get to choose with every single action, every single day, if we're moving towards our dream life or towards our dread life. And that is really what this practice is. And I think that's why this is so helpful, because all you need to do to become that person in your dream life is start to choose what they would have chosen now. It's that simple, and it's hard to think that it's that simple, but to become the person you want to be, you just need to act as if you're already them, because you are. They're in there. Your soul's calling isn't there by accident. It didn't just make itself up. It's there because it's actually fundamentally inside you. And you get to choose if you want to step into that person. And so after this project, after this exercise, you'll be amazed at how you'll start to see things, and each choice now becomes an A-B decision. Which life is that moving you towards? Is that keeping you stuck? Is that moving you forward? Is that keeping you stuck? And it makes all those decisions a lot easier. Is the person in the future working out in the morning? Well, then you're going to get up and work out. Are they sleeping in? Well, if they're sleeping in, that's great. Then that's what you're going to do as well. So it'll just make the whole process easier. So I'm super excited for y'all to try this. I can't wait to get feedback. Feel free to share with us if you'd like to share your stories. But how I also use this, I use this as a refocusing and recentering reading for myself. I read it a minimum of once a month. Sometimes if I'm really struggling, once a week or once a day. But you want to continue to reread it, especially when things get hard, because it will just refocus and recenter yourself on what you really want. And so it's a great resource to have to remind you that what you're thinking at is possible. And so just try this project out, try this process out, and see how it goes, and let us know. So we'll be back next week for building block number 2, and I'm excited to dive into that one with you as well. And we are on this journey together. Please reach out if you have any questions, any concerns, and we'll be happy to support you. We look forward to this journey with you. Thanks so much.